Hey there, everybody, and welcome to another Trading Stories episode here on Boss Game TCG. If you're new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Be sure to check out all of the other videos on the main channel, as well as like and sub and comment and all those YouTubey things. And I'll keep telling you guys all the stories that I have to share connected to my own Pokemon TCG collection. In today's episode, we are going to be featuring some of my favorites full art trainer cards. Who does not love a full art trainer card? I don't know a single person in the world who doesn't think that a full art trainer card is just the blingiest of bling cardboard on the face of the planet. And so let's get into it. Now, usually I try and go from low to high and kind of build up the hype throughout the course of an episode, but these are all full art trainers, right? And so every single one is going to be pretty dang cool, and this one is no exception. We are starting things off with a little bit of heat here. Full art Iono. This supporter card is so shiny that you can almost not even show it in the camera. Look at that. Look at that. First it's there, now it's nothing. First it's there, now it's nothing. It is definitely something, though, to behold. This artwork is just absolutely amazing. This Iono or Iono, I've heard people call her Iono, but this is obviously in the standard format of the Pokemon TCG right now. It is a very highly competitive card, and it's in a sleeve because I do actually play this. I know people who are super duper collectors are like, why do you riffle shuffle this? Don't worry, I don't like destroy it when I riffle shuffle, but I do riffle it. And it's obviously for my own personal competitive use. Speaking of shameless self-promotion, check out Team Vicavolt's YouTube channel, which is the original channel. This is the sister channel to Team Vicavolt's YouTube channel. Boss.Game TCG is not alone in this biz. So if you're into competitive TCG stuff, be sure to check Team Vicavolt's YouTube channel. I'll try to remember to link it down in the description. So there we go. We're starting off with Iono, and we're going to go ahead and set her right here at the nose of the spaceship. And we're going to see what else. We do have quite a few more. The next full art trainer card on our little trading stories reveal. This one, again, not just like the last episode or two, there's always one or two cards that don't have too huge of a story behind them. I pulled this in a pack and I was pleasantly surprised. Moral of the story is the blister packs in the stores usually have better pulls than most of the other Pokemon products. That's just kind of what I've come to notice. But anyhow, back to this card right here. This little mystery card is none other than B. And yes, that is how you pronounce her name because that's how I heard it pronounced on the TV show. And yes, I do actually watch the TV show still. Ever since the 90s, man, I've been in there. So anyway, B is this one I picked up because my huge obsession deck a while back was none other than Machamp VMAX. It's like my favorite Gigantamax form is Machamp's Gigantamax form. Comment down below, what's your favorite Gigantamax or VMAX card? Anyhow, I picked up this B because it was like right on the edge of standard format rotation. And it was actually pretty affordable because it was about to rotate from the standard format. And I just thought that it was like such a cool looking card. And I think B as a character is pretty cool too. And so I went ahead and picked it up. I used it for my Machamp deck for maybe about like, I don't know, a week or two before it rotated. But I do not regret this purchase. It was pretty affordable too. I think I picked it up for like $8 at the time, which for a full art card is not too shabby, not too shabby. Continuing on with the full art supporter cards that everybody just always loves, we have Acerola. Now, if you were around for the Sun and Moon era, which is really when I started picking up the whole Pokemon YouTube game, like 5 years ago now, 6 years ago now, Acerola as a full art was a really cool card and a very valuable card, and I do believe it is actually worth a bit of money. It has a different holo to it than the B or the Iono, and it has just kind of like an overall different sort of art sort of style to it. It's not as dynamic. If you take a look at these other cards, there's like a lot of movement, a lot of flowiness, a lot of tension in the artwork, whereas this one is kind of just a, your typical kind of pose Acerola, obviously a very popular character from the Sun and Moon series. And it was a very competitively viable card because it lets you just pick up a Pokemon and put it into your hand. I pulled this one out of a pack as well. And that's about it. It was like a huge hit. I freaked out pretty. I got pretty excited whenever I pulled it from a pack out of nowhere. And again, I think it was actually from another blister pack. So I maintain the belief that blister packs have better pull rates, but that's just hearsay and conjecture. Conjecture. Let's move to the next one. You can probably tell from the card sleeve here that this is going to be a very modern but very cool full art trainer card. It is none other than the alternate art of Bianca's Devotion. Now, this one was not out of a blister pack. This one was actually out of an ETB, an Elite Trainer box that I bought, I don't know, a few months ago. This is a very modern card, and it has like such a scenic sort of art style to it. It's kind of weird, honestly, in my own personal opinion. It's a little weird that this is a picture of Bianca just sleeping on a couch, and that's the picture that we have here. I don't know. I don't know exactly what the significance of this specific scene is in relation to the games or anything. But here we have it. It is a very beautiful card, and it's worth a little bit of money, like $25. Like I said, I pulled it out of an ETB. I considered it to be a really big hit, and I think that this card might see some competitive play in the future, actually. So if you have some Bianca's Devotions in your collection, whether they be a full art or not, I would try and like hold on to a few of those, because I think that that might actually come into play as a cool tech card in terms of the competitive scene. But we have about three more cards to feature here, so let's move this along. This next full art trainer card or supporter card is going to be Brock's Grit, and this is a completely different art style, obviously. It has much more of that old school feel to it. This came out of the Celebrations set. If you watched yesterday's episode of Trading Stories, then you know that I bought way too much of that set. It was a huge nostalgia train that I just couldn't hop off of. It was speeding too fast. And one of the best pulls I got out of all the obscene amount of packs that I opened back then was this Brock's Grit supporter card. I think I might have played this specific copy of the card as a one of in a deck like a way back, but I don't think that I actually played it too much. It's still in really great condition, and when I pulled Brock, I can't lie, I actually was really hoping for Misty's Determination out of that set, but I would gladly take Brock's Grit as well. It was a very playable card in the competitive scene, and it's a cool full art, and not too sure about the price or the value on this one right now, but it is in really good condition. Another more modern card before we get to the last and the topping, the cherry on top of the, what is it, the sundae or the cake or something. The thing to top it all off is coming up next, folks. But before that, we do have more of a modern card to feature, one that you probably have seen played quite often if you watch any of the competitive streams, or even if you go to your local events, or maybe you even play this card yourself. It is criminally inexpensive. That this card right here is I think it's only like a $1.30 card the last time I checked. This is Professor's Research, Professor Oak, which in my opinion is the optimal art for any Professor's Research, hands down. This card is beautiful. When it first came out, it was so easy to pull out of this set that it was so inexpensive, and it remains inexpensive because it was really not hard to pull this beautiful full art card out of this set, which is the 25th anniversary set. Was that one Celebrations? Maybe Evolutions was this one. The reprint sort of set was Evolutions. I've been calling it Celebrations. I think maybe Celebrations was the 25th anniversary, and then Evolutions was the 20th anniversary. But anyhow, This artwork, to me, it is just like so beautiful, because what is happening here in this specific scene from the games is the moment that the player character, you, the character that you play as, Trainer Red or Blue or what have you, um, is walking through the door to claim their very first starter Pokemon. That's what's happening. Professor Oak is in the middle of his day-to-day routine. He's gathering books for research, and then he hears like a knock at the door. The door opens, which I guess in the video game you don't even knock, you just kind of walk in. So the door opens. The door opens, and Professor Oak looks over his shoulder to see none other than you, the player character, the chosen one, so to speak, walk into his life and start your Pokemon journey. There's a lot, there's all that very poignant, very nostalgic, very beautiful backstory happening in this one very simple image. And so that's why, to me, this is like obviously the optimal Professor's Research card art, and you cannot convince me otherwise. There have been so many times where I have almost bought like a whole other 2 play sets of these because it is still such a cheap card, but man, is it just like so amazingly beautiful. Now, I'm sure you're excited to see the very last and the most rare and probably the most expensive card out of all of these full art trainer cards that I have in my collection. I do have a few others that aren't going to be featured in this video, but I'm going to end this one with a really cool one. So, the very last full art trainer card that we have to feature here on Trading Stories today is none other than... This is a full art Bianca from, not to be confused with Bianca's Devotion, which is a separate card. This is a full art Bianca from the black and white era. Let me see the sign on here. It's just from black and white base set. Back in college, I was really competing like a whole lot more than I do nowadays, just because I had like a lot more free time. And I, once again, went on a huge spending spree of competitive Pokemon cards, and full art trainer cards back then were just like a whole lot more expensive than they are nowadays. Nowadays, I think it's really cool that getting a full art trainer card doesn't necessarily break the bank. Like, they might be $9 a piece, $10 a piece. When I picked up this specific Bianca, I could only afford to get one. I got it from Amazon.com because it was way before I even knew about TCGplayer.com, and I didn't trust eBay, so I would buy off of Amazon. Amazon was a different platform back then, much more trustworthy, and it had way better Pokemon cards. But on Amazon, this was $16. Which I was like, hey, you know what? I think I'm just going to get the full art, at least one copy of the full art to run in my decks, because it's like such a cool card. It looks obviously very pretty, and it's just like a super sought after card. It was like fluctuating in price, I remember, a lot back then, but $16 for this one card was the best price I could find it, and so I went ahead and picked it up. Nowadays, I believe that this card goes for $60 to $80 for just one copy. And so this is a little bit of a purchase that I'm really glad I made back then. $16, and now it's like $60 to $80, and I believe it's really only going to keep going up in value. It's just one of those kinds of cards. The sort of like, I don't know, pairing card to this card art is a full art supporter card of Professor Juniper. I do have that card, but I wasn't able to dig it up out of the collection for the video. It looks really cool. You should look it up yourself. It's I believe it's also from Black and White. It is it's Professor Juniper full art from the Black and White set. But I do have that card, and I believe that card is going for $70 nowadays, maybe a little bit more. And that other Professor Juniper supporter card was given to me by a friend who made me promise that I would never sell it and that I would never trade it, and so I never have. And this Bianca card, it's like I feel like I can just never never really let go of it because I really think it's only going to keep going up in value. It's a little bit of an investment card, if you will, in my collection, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It's actually absolutely beautiful. And who knows if for some reason they reprint Bianca as a supporter card, then maybe just maybe I might even be tempted to like play this in my deck for for the nostalgias or whatever. But until now, I'm taking good care of it. It's still in really great shape, and that's what I have to feature here for the full art collection of the video. I hope that you enjoyed. Let me know if you are enjoying these trading stories videos. I would love to do more. I have so much old school Pokemon merch and obviously Pokemon cards to feature. I could just keep going on and on and on with these kinds of videos. But if you enjoy them, please let me know. As well as other types of content that you want to see here on Boss.Game TCG's YouTube channel. Please stay with us. Please like and sub if you made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for your support. You are a boss. And I hope you're along for the ride as Boss.Game TCG continues to grow and to develop and to evolve. So thank you so much again one last time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. Bye-bye.